Happy Sunday, FlossTube. It is Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and this is my FlossTube channel. Today is Sunday, December 12th, and it is FlossTube episode number 27. I am a little, having something different planned for you than what originally was planned. Unfortunately, the guest that I had joining me today came up with a cold, just a cold, but a cough significant enough that she probably could not have enjoyed herself, and therefore we want to keep her healthy and you know, everybody around her safe. So anyways, I came up with a different idea, and therefore I have the title Whips, Kits, and Sales, Oh My. I have been wanting to do the next step of organization, thinking towards 2022 and all of my stitchy plans. So I thought this might be another good option for us to work through. So if you are new to my channel, this is my channel about cross stitch and sometimes other fiber arts or textiles. I do love primitive rug hooking, and that is definitely on my plan for 2022 to incorporate some of the whips that I have in rug hooking. I do have a crochet project to venture into next year as well. I thought I would get a start on it, and at this point I think I will just wait and move it right on into next year. It's a gift for my daughter, so I know that you know, I have a good chunk of time if I wanted to give it to her for her birthday or anything like that. So welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, which I hope that you enjoy yourself here and feel encouraged and lifted up, and I'm sure sometimes I love hearing when I've sent someone out on a journey to hunt down a new pattern. So make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. I love watching the channel grow, and I think that it just means that the friends that we have around the world in this community grows. So anyways, I am going to skip on my typical path where I share who I watched. It was busy this week, and it was not Philip's best week, I will say. I think he got incredibly tired after the busy weekend we had before that, which was the parade, and the grandkids were here, and so sometimes it just catches up. And for Monday through Wednesday of this past week, we very much relaxed. A lot of times it means some in-bed stitching for me, and I am absolutely okay with that. It gives them, sometimes both of us, what we need. We did have an opportunity to get out on Friday, and I shared on Instagram with you that I went with my dad to in the plantation of Leesburg where we live, the community. They have a train club, so a model train club. So Philip absolutely loves trains. I mean, it is right up there with fire trucks, and it was really nice to join my dad in an early afternoon on Friday and just go to the Christmas train show up at our main clubhouse, the Manor. I shared pictures. It's really pretty in there, and it was just a nice size, and the train room that is permanently inside the Manor where the train club meets up was just so cool. So I do know that Brenda and Laura have shared on their channel, Brenda and Laura, the serial starter, on their FlossTube channel, they shared Laura's father's train room, I believe, and I am going to have Philip watch that, and you know, I know he's going to get a kick out of that. So anyways, that was kind of our day. Yesterday, it was kind of relaxing. We did a little bit, and other than that, I've been getting things done. I had 2 finishes since I've sat with you last, and I will be able to share one, and the other one I'm going to insert a picture for you, which will be the first time that I've ever inserted a picture on my FlossTube. Okay, so I watched a few, but this is the segment I think I'm gonna kind of pass over in order to get through whips and sals and kits and things like that. And by no means, when I show you the kits that on this floss tube, these are just the kits that I want to make sure that are with me for 2022. I have a couple other small kits from Country Sampler that I did not get out. I don't have a project bag for them yet, but they're ready to go, and of course they're always going to be on my mind. So with that being said, I think we should jump right into stitching. And I think the best place to start is with my finish of a small this week. It was my second Lizzie Kate, and I shared it on Instagram. I can't remember if I shared it with you last week. It was a little emotional last week, and I thank you all for just absolutely always sticking by my side. Anyways, so if I did not, I did want to give it a share. I'm pretty sure I did, because I think I remember that I shared with you that I wanted it to look like a package. But just in case, he's still cute. We can show him again. The second picture, or the second finish I had, was my very first Prairie Schooler. And it is called By the Chimney. And it was a limited edition kit. I had got it off eBay. I believe it was stitched on like a flax. It didn't say. I absolutely fell right down the Prairie Schooler rabbit hole. I have one more of those limited edition kits that I am hoping to still stitch this year. And I don't have that right here, right now with me, but I will share it with you hopefully as a finish so that I have two that can go together. But I did drop off my By the Chimney to be framed. It is, that's a cat. It was just big enough that I believe it will be nice framed, and especially because I think there are actually 5 of these limited edition, and so if I can hunt down some more, it'd be really kind of cool on a collage. But I'm really, really happy with the frame choice that I picked, and I'm excited to show it to you. My framer, Mike, said that it would be back before Christmas, so I'm excited to be able to enjoy it. But anyways, I will insert a picture here. I'm hoping that this is what you'll get to see. And I just had a blast stitching this. I absolutely love that there's only a few colors. So anyways, I hope that this works for you, and I'm not putting my finger here for no reason at all. But anyways, Prairie Schoolers, so fun. So sorry I waited so long to start some. And I am, hopefully next week I will have a whip in progress, a new start on the next one of the limited editions. So, okay, those were my two basically finishes and one FFO. Fully finished object. Okay, now I think we can go into the best would be to get rid of all my haul, all of the eBay, and then move right into the whips and the kits. So let's see here. eBay purchases. I have, because I also have started the Lizzie Kate rabbit hole, and I've always loved her stuff. I, again, loved both. Don't know why I had never stitched any. So I started with my Lizzie Kates, just finding the small Christmas ones on eBay at the very beginning of the year. And so you've seen a couple of those that I've done. And then I did find on eBay this time another Lizzie Kate snippet, and it's called Santa's Got the Goods from 2008. And it did come with the buttons. So I really like this one. She's really got away with Happy Santas. Isn't it funny how Christmas stitching brings so much joy? It's just, it adds another element to stitching, because you love stitching. You know, if you're into cross stitch and you love stitching and it's your therapy, it's your hobby, it's your passion, it's, you know, then you add Christmas stitching into the mix, and there's this instant additional element of joy or happiness, and I am absolutely aware of that this year, and I'm absolutely going to keep Christmas in my stitching all year because of that. Anyway, so this is my Lizzie Kate that I grabbed off eBay, and I'm quite confident he won't get stitched this year, but I am happy to have him for my collection and for next year. So just a fun find. Now the other thing was that I fell in love with some stand-ups this year. One, my friend Stitchy Linda on Instagram. She is a local friend. She is a friend through my local needlework shop, Brick City Cross Stitch in Ocala. And you know, this year both the owner, Jean, of my local needle shop, and Linda have just really, besides y'all and my family, they have really helped lift me up this year. And so it's a very nice friendship that I cherish. Both of them are. And so she has done the Lizzie Kate stand-ups. And so I was able to find the Pair of Pilgrims by Lizzie Kate. And I was not gonna let that get away. They're a little bit harder to come by. I do know that there's another set by a different designer, but anyways, I love her holding the pie, and I'm excited to have these for next year. So it'll definitely be a goal to have them finished and add to my Thanksgiving display. So that was another eBay find, and I love that it came as a pair. So easy. And then I know when I watched Stitchy Linda and put her Christmas decor out, she has the Santa and Mrs. Claus, and I was able to find Lizzie Kate's Needle Nick special edition kit, and it comes with everything. So I don't know if the fabric, what it comes with. I haven't ventured into opening the kit. I know it'll be for next year, and I love that I already have, like, this will be the thing that I am excited to stitch on throughout the year. And then I went over to 123 Stitch because I wanted to make sure that I got the Mrs. Claus. And on 123 Stitch, I knew that they had her, but when I got there, she was out of stock. And so I did the typical, yes, email me when it comes in, and literally right after I found the limited edition kit for Needle Nick, they had sent me an email saying that Flossy Claus was in. And it's wonderful because you can get, it comes with this. The price of the pattern comes with the embellishments. She's so cute. So what I did was on 123 Stitch, one of my favorite things I like about that shop is that you can also click on it and it shows you all the threads. On most patterns, it tells you all the threads and the linen that you need. And if you hit check all, you can move it to the cart and you get everything that you need, and get it all together at the same time. And on this particular situation, I chose that so that I would have what was called for. And now, before I start, I will compare the two linens and either change out the one for Needle Nick to match Flossy Claus and make sure that they match. I don't want them to mismatch. And then what I can use, I'll just obviously use that fabric from Needle Nick for something else. So those were my eBay haul. Okay, new. It was some of these are Christmas presents for me, and at the same time, I was hoping to be able to gift this kit to the friend that was supposed to join me today, and so we had decided we were going to do this together. This is incredibly cute. However, the picture does not do it justice. So I jumped on this, gifting one to her and then one for me. This is a hard one to say, but we're just going to call it, it's by UB Designs. and it says Merry Christmas. And I love that he's slightly primitive. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's weird when you watch yourself in these things. I'm warning you. I'm just warning you if you start one of these, because that's a gray hair. That's life, ladies. That's life in the 50s. These wild gray hairs. Anyways, so it comes with these adorable, see right there is a wood button, and right there is a wood button. And they come with it, and they're like hand painted and adorable. So this is, I don't think this is a terribly big stitch, but it's really, really cute. And if you would like, I know that these were a little hard to find. If you would like the link as to where I found it, I think she had a few more. I will link the shop below. It came out of Georgia, I believe. So if you're at all interested, I'm not gonna open it up, but I can tell you that even though it's German, I believe, you know, it obviously you can figure out what the floss are. That's not a, they have Anchor and DMC conversion. I think that's it. It has something else, but either way, I think the name of it is actually Merry Christmas. And if anybody else wants to read the one up top, the Stitchmuster, you know who would know this is 911 Stitching. I bet you she could read that like piece of cake, or the ladies at Twin Peak Primitives. But either way, love him. I'm excited that I can stitch him, you know, with a friend next year, and I'm in no hurry. So that was the first haul. Hold on a second here. Then I was waiting. Let's see. I have been watching Whilst Iris Naps. I shared the pink sampler with you last week in FFO form, and she shared that she was working on a gingerbread pattern and for release soon. So I have been watching every single day, and she put it out finally, and it's I did it a very quick download. It's called G for Gingerbread, and he is adorable. So this is Whilst Iris Naps. G is for gingerbread. He is so cute. She shows you all different colors. If you want a girl, if you want a boy, she gives you, what's so great about Christine at Whilst Iris Naps is she gives you such great instructions with it. She's giving you the bow and the charm information. So, you know, I have my own thoughts, but I mean, this is, seriously, this was like $5. And you get all this information. She gives you finishing instructions. You really can't beat that. So this was a no-brainer purchase for me, and I believe that I could get him finished this year, but I don't want to rush him because, you know, when you get a nice monochromatic, fun, easy stitch, you don't want to rush it. So my goal would be this year, but possibly not. Then some of you have the Silk app. I do have it on my tablet. Typically, I don't stitch from it, but I do have it, and I like the thought of it. Well, Silk on Instagram shared, I believe it might have been a new designer that has joined their app, and it is, the name of the designer is Vivsters. It's a Vivster design. She is also on Etsy. I will say typically not all my types of genre for cross stitch or theme, but the 12 Days of Christmas did catch my eye. You have to excuse my nails this week because they just did not get done. Sometimes life just throws you that kind of a situation, and it's not crucial to me. So this is the 12 Days of Christmas, and I did go ahead and get this downloaded because I had a 30% off from Etsy, so it made it easy. Mama Loves You GB and I have decided that for us, we are going to stitch one a month. And then my finishing idea is maybe a little bit different. Who knows, you know, what she's thinking as far as a finish, but right away in my mind, I know because of wall space and other things like that, I thought, how cute would it be to put these and attach them to a wreath? So in my mind, I am not going to stitch. I'm not confident if I will stitch all around this border here, or if I'll just go to just the actual picture, depending on what size they are. I haven't got that far because I want them to be small enough to fit all on one nice size wreath that I could put like battery powered lights, and how I'll mount, I'll figure it out at another time. But I think this would be really, really cute on a wreath. So that's my thought. And that makes it nice for me to just feel like all I've got to stitch is one of these, you know, a month. So if anybody wants to join us, you know, we can certainly turn this into a sale. It's how quickly they start. But anyways, I'll work on getting a bag and things like that for next year so that it can house everything as I go. All right, those were the last, I'm pretty sure, of the purchases. Now, last week I told you I'd come across 2 freebies. The first one was from Whilst Iris Snaps, and this is her Let It Snow, which I think probably by now you've seen this flying around. But again, free, and she's still giving you, she used like a beading finish, and she even shows you that. So you can find this, it's called Let It Snow, and it is her 2021 Christmas freebie. And I liked Primrose Cottage Stitches freebie. That's one that I think that's just finished so perfectly, and I you know me, I'm into the little pillow finishes right now, and I think that would be really cute on my little kitchen tree. So this one, you could see this getting done maybe this week, because that's another fast one. Okay, love this, love this. This is Twin Peak Primitives. I call it Before the Flight. The name on here is Before to Flight. Obviously, it is Santa Claus himself trying to make sure he has his map, Google, all his information ready to go with his team of reindeers, and Rudolph is down there by his feet. So anyways, I can see this, and I could see a couple of things where, you know, I could change maybe some of the floss, but not much. I mean, I absolutely love it. They're just Christmas colors, so I'm excited to give this one a go and have it, if not for this Christmas, next Christmas. But really, really cute. Okay, now another one that is a freebie, and it's on her blog, is the Candy Cane Cottage by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. So there's a cat decides she's gonna just walk all over everything. This is it. It's really, really cute. I cannot share. Okay. Oh. Okay, there you go. That was Kiwi. Sorry about that intrusion. Anyways, Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting, and it is Candy Cane Cottage, and it's adorable. It's a quick stitch. I can't share the pattern with you, but you should go look at it. It's really, really cute. Would make a really cute small. So that's that one, and it's free. And she has a lot of them there that are really cute. I think I shared with you a fall one. Okay, another enabled purchase from made by Michelle McGraw. I did watch her this week. I also watched, oh dear, I just had a mind blank. I watched Made by Michelle McGraw because she shared her Christmas Smalls exchange, and I watched The Receiver, who I now am just drawing a very big blank. Anyways, I'll get that later. But she shared what she gifted And I absolutely fell in love with this primitive Santa. It's by the Calico Confectionery. You can get there from Etsy. You can get it from local needle shop. I know I've noticed a couple of these patterns. I did not know that before, but are at Brick City Cross Stitch. This is Old Father Christmas. She has a few of them, and it's by Old Father Christmas 1838. And I, again, will tell you that if you want to see what it looks like finished, go watch Made by Michelle McGraw, but the face is awesome. And she even stitched the little reindeer as a small that goes with it. But I would like, if at all possible, the size of this, I don't have it kitted up or anything like that, but let me tell you. This is 45 wide by 87 high. I would love to stitch this for my sister for Christmas. She doesn't watch these, I don't think. She's quite busy herself all the time, so I think I could get away with possibly getting it stitched up if I have to finish one other gift first. And if I can, he's really, really cool. Like I said, if you want to see him in finished version, go over to Miss Michelle, and it's awesome. So thank you for sending me down that little rabbit hole, Michelle. Okay, last week I also had shared that Michelle of Mama Loves You GB put out her second pattern for a reproduction sampler, and I had forgot to pull it from the printer, so I know you may have seen it, but if you haven't, this is her newest release, and this is Mary A.G. Small 1863. And I love that it's in Christmas colors, and I love that it's just all alphabet for the most part. And it's a color chart. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So a very nice relaxing stitch, and you still get to have a reproduction sampler on your wall. So love it. She does give you a little bit of history that goes with it, so quite a bit. And she used wool, which I don't know if I have any. I believe if I did, I would possibly have these colors because you only need 3. So anyways, thanks, Michelle. Love this. I'm so glad that you've gotten 2 out there. You can find her on Etsy as well. And then I really, really wanted to participate in the Jolly Housewives because I had done Stitching with the Housewives, one of the smalls for my Christmas tree, and it just seems like time is flying in December, but I did buy the one Ho 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 because I love Santa in a pair of pajamas. So I really hope that I can join in them for just a little bit, and you know, Fat Quarter Shop is stitching right along, and I think this is adorable. So that is it when it comes to haul. And just a quick reminder that if you did not see it, this is by Kathy Barrick. This is called Nottingham. It came out at Expo, and she shared a different fabric option on her Instagram page, and I fell in love with it on black. So I also watched Fox and Rabbit, Miss Karen, who fell in love with it as well, and suggested her Black Swan linen that they make, hand-dyed fabric. So I am going to use that, and this will be a start in February. So just in case you want to grab some stuff, and all DMC threads. So fun, fun, fun for February. Okay, all right. Next up, I'm gonna go through whips, and this is gonna be a whip parade, so it is everything I have in whips. So Dad, this is a good time right now if you are watching, because he's a pretty good supporter of my channel. You might wanna look away. I think Mom would be very proud and yet maybe nervous too, but it's all right. She would have rolled with it and we would have just kept going. So this is one of my oldest. This is Springfield 1817 Sampler. by Twin Peak Primitives. This is one that I had started a good while ago, and Mom and I had come up with our own thread conversion, and so I will show that with you. I lightly ironed most of these, and I mean lightly. I don't like to iron them too much, but this one I did not. But this one is on 28 count Heartland, I can tell you that. Sorry for the squeaky chair. These are the colors. And I absolutely want to just take the time to get back to this because these take a good chunk of time. These are no laughing matter, but they're beautiful when they're done, and they're not a terrible amount of colors, but they still take some time, and they're kind of not everywhere, but there's quite a bit up here, you can see. But it is absolutely the prettiest original design sampler that I love a lot of them, but this one just really is quite breathtaking. So I want to get back on that. And that is Springfield 1817 Sampler. And I know a lot of people have this because a lot of people bought it when the twins were doing their giveaway. This was the pattern that you could buy it and it earned your kind of like ticket into the giveaway. So if anybody wants to start stitching this with me to help keep me motivated, I'm all in, just message me. I would love that, absolutely love that. So that is the first width and the oldest. Okay, my plans are always going to be stitch what you love, but also stitch the lowest hanging fruit. So the one that is the closest to a finish is typically what the philosophy I try to use. So this is the Scarlet House Mary Betchel 1810. This is stitched on Eclipse Colors linen. She is on Etsy. It's a lovely linen to work with. And it is, I believe it's 28 count. I can check that in just a second. But this is my progress. This is why I consider it to be, you know, worthy of getting it out there and getting a finish in, because I have enough left that I still hesitate to pick it up sometimes, and then not enough to tell myself, you should just pick this back up and just get it done. This was the first piece I ever did 1/1 on, down here in the name. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a mistake. I was going strong, steady, had a mistake, and I just rectified it and put my initials in. And I am using the red on this. I love this. Is the, one second. Okay, the red, that's what I thought, is the DMC 115. This is amazing stuff. I love this. The variegation is so good. This one I just kind of grabbed because there was, you know, mostly just simple colors in here. So I tried to use some of what Scarlet House called for, and then just some of what I had. So anyways, I am hoping that this would be, hold on one second here. Jeez. Okay, we're just gonna forget that right now. I was gonna show you something else, but apparently it doesn't wanna come out. Okay, so that is Scarlet House, and this will be one of the first ones that I really give some good love to, because it's that far along into 2022. So That one is housed in a bag my mom made. And okay, so this is a really weak whip. I guess that's what I would call it, a weak whip. It is right after my parents had moved, Mom and I wanted to get this started. We absolutely love, you know, a folk type, and this Barbara Anna Designs has some amazing designs, but this has always been one we wanted to do, and this is called Love Never Fails, and I love this. If I was just gonna think Louise Raggedy Stitch It, like has this finished, and usually it's over a fireplace, and it's just beautiful. But I did not get very far. Neither of us did that day, so it's a very weak start, but it's a start nonetheless. So that'll be what I work on hopefully next year for a little bit. I'm not sure I'll get a finish out of that. They're all DMC threads, and this one is housed in my Lisa Kindred Stitcher bag. So let's hope I can get some stitches in that next year. Okay, this one is Anna Omen 1873. This is by Lila's Studio. Some people say Leela's, I say Lila's. Maybe I'm not sure. I'd be interested in knowing exactly. I think it is Leela's. Anyways, she's a beautiful designer. I have many of her patterns, and this is where I got a pretty good start in it. It's nice because it's monochromatic. I don't know why I kind of struggled. I struggled with it at first. I struggled with enjoying it. I like went real quick through the alphabet, and then the rest you really do have to pay good attention. And I don't know if that was my problem, if it was just something, but somehow it just kind of worked its way out of my current whips. So this is using used brick, Classic Colorworks used brick. And let me see if, I believe it is literally on the called floor linen. I can tell you I think mine's a 32 count. But anyways, I will get back to that because it's really, really pretty. Okay, this was a birthday start last year. This is the Right Way Sampler. I fell in love with this. This is by Stitching Through the Years. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her, this was an Etsy download. And I am stitching this on pewter, 28 count pewter. I was trying to, I can't read the writing on the other one, but 28 count pewter. Really pretty. I got a good go on my border, and then I stopped. So I think this would be the perfect, one to pick up for spring. It's got birds, it's got light colors, it's got pastel colors. I think that would be just perfect to hold on and get motivated. These are the flosses. Hold on one second. They are gorgeous. They're just all so pretty. Perfect Pie Cross, Classic Colorworks, Galvanized by Weeks Dye Works, which is a beautiful color. Aged Pewter Shaker, Dirt Road by Weeks Dye Works, but the pink that just stands out on this is Colonial Rose. Gorgeous. So I think for sure this would just absolutely be perfect for some spring stitching. So that one will come back out. I think sometimes it's hard because this just, I'm not a pastel type person, so I think sometimes I struggle with those kind of stitches. Okay, this one is Haunted House Sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. This is part of a sal that I was doing with a big group, and this came out this year, and I absolutely love it. And I did stop when Christmas stitching came into play, but this is my progress. Some of them are, I have this as a kit, so it's all the called for DMC. I only changed out one over here to a variegated, and I'm just having a blast with this. So my thought on this one is on the 13th of every month going forward, for the dark October stitching that a lot of people join in on, I'm gonna do that. So tomorrow I will pull this out because it'll be December 13th, and I will put some stitches into it. And no pressure, no nothing. It just will hopefully get it to a point that, you know, I will get it to where it is a low-hanging fruit and I can just get a finish in it. This one is stitched on 38 count or 32 count Belfast Grasshopper. And I love it. I absolutely love the entire combination of this. And it was, you know, all DMC, so easy. And I'm excited for that. So, one second. Okay. All right. This is Quaker Bluebird Sampler by Willow Hill Samplings. Absolutely one of my favorite whips I have. And I was almost getting close to, I could have pulled off a finish, but I had dropped off like 3 pieces to get framed before Expo, and I made myself, you know, just kind of slow down on it. So this one will be a perfect filler for one day when I just want to work on monochromatic and go for a finish. Every now and then you just feel like you need that if you're working on a really big piece. You just want to feel that, what it feels like to have something finished, and it gets you motivated. So this one, I am this far, and all I have is that the last, like, I guess you could call it like a medallion, or I mean, it's bigger than a motif, but anyways, so I'm excited. I absolutely love this, and it is using the called for blackboard, I believe. Yeah, Sampler Threads blackboard. So it's a really, really cool, deep, deep blue that when you pull it away, it appears to be black, but when you are, you know, close, it's this beautiful variegation of a deep, deep blue, and it's stitched on 28 count Heartland. I know that much. Now I have my mom's of this because she was working on it as well, and because I feel like this is such a nice stitch. It's actually one I probably could stitch twice, so I do have hers, and this is how far she got. So my thinking is I would like to try and, you know, finish it. So we hung on to it, and I'd like to finish that for her, and, you know, then my dad would have it. But again, finish mine first, keep it in the bag, and just keep going. So that is Quaker Bluebird, and I love that. It is so pretty and so elegant, but okay. Hopefully these will stay nicely stacked. Okay, now I got all excited, and so did Mom last year, to join the Modern Folk Embroidery, the Fruit of Plenty sale. The owner of Brick City Cross Stitch Jeans, she has done his previous years, and I think she did it in red and a blue, but so I joined for 2021, and I'm absolutely so glad that I did. The colors that people use and the ideas they have are phenomenal. I think out of anything I got from this, it was looking at the wonderful color combinations that people use. So if you ever need ideas for two-toned, just look up the hashtag, MFE, like look up his stitch alongs that he has for Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery. So this was the one I signed up for. Many people are doing it. I know the Virginia Stitcher joined a little bit late. Her goal is to try and get, the next chunk done next year. I was going strong. It's an absolutely enjoyable stitch. I was really nervous and really worried to start something like that, and I was so wrong that it does not cause any stress. It's actually really quite relaxing. It's large, but it's relaxing. So the colors I chose were 2 DMC colors, and they were 924 and 926. And this is where I got so I'm down here. So I was working on Expo, I was doing some model stitching, and it really just took a back burner. And I'm gonna be honest, once I got 2 months behind, it just felt like just save it up so that you could just stitch it straight as like monogamous for the most part. So I know that this is on 28 count Jobelan lamb's wool. It's super soft, and I love it. So my goal is for certain to have a finish this year on it. So, I mean, anyways, and these are the colors that I have with it. I guess it might be better if you looked at them here. So if you're still working on it and you want to join me, feel free. It's really pretty, and I wish I could explain how once you get going, there's such a good flow with it that it kind of just moves. It moves really pretty quickly. I was surprised, but it was a big undertaking, and I knew that when I did it. So I don't feel upset. I need to print the last one that came out in December, and I will not be joining for 2022 because it just feels like I want to be able to finish the other one first. I don't want to jump on something else. I have enough. This one is Coming to America, the Women of the Mayflower. I've shared that with y'all before. The last time we met, I think you'll probably remember, I had finally started getting some color at the bottom. Again, this is one that I can definitely get finished in 2022. I don't feel at all worried about it. I'm working down here, and when I get that done, I will pop up to the top. And this is the only goal I have in mind for this, is for certain framed and on the wall for Thanksgiving of next year. I would love it before then, so if the mood strikes, and I'll just keep working on it, because ultimately I would like my first of the first Thanksgiving and some of the other ones that I have on a wall together, and this would be a huge piece for it. So anyways, that is Coming to America, just in case. I know pretty much everybody's seen it, but love it. And it's another, I can see quite a few finishes for next year that I should be able to achieve either early in the game or timely with the season. Okay, so at this point I am on to my most current whips, I would say. So I will share with you, this is Stallions Christmas Twin Peak Primitives. I shared this last week, and this is my progress. And this is on 32 count Jobelan lamb's wool. And I framed in the other side of the barn, so I'm just really enjoying the fact that I can do some nice easy stitching on this one without having to look at a pattern. So I've kind of been working on this one during the day. And then I was able to bring this border around. So it's really fun. This is Lancaster Red. And for right now, I think I mentioned I was trying with the trees to use the Weeks Dye Works moss. It has a really good variation change, but you got to complete your X's. But this is a really sweet stitch that I wanted to stitch in honor of, you know, having horses. One of my favorite things. And okay, next up is a Stitchy Cell with Dot Dot Goose, Miss Denise, and Stitchy Linda. We decided to do a Thanksgiving Day start of Country Cottage Needleworks, Greetings from the North Pole. And this is on 32 count Heartland, and this is my progress. I couldn't love this anymore, but I would tell you, these houses are something. That thing, I'm not even done with it yet, and I think Linda's got 2 done, and I'm sure Denise, I know for sure she had 1 done up here, but she could be on her second one. But whew, they are, there's some work. Adorable though. So that is my Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I came in, I put their eyes in, I worked a lot on this house. I filled all this in, I think that was Monday. The first day where I was literally, I want to say was sitting with Philip, and we kind of just relaxed. This is what I did. I thought, all right, let's get that out of the way. So I'm pleased to say this is moving along, and I will stay moving on this. It's housed in my Dot Dot Goose bag. And of course, I show this every time because I love it. Santa and Mrs. Claus, so completely adorable bag. I know she has another one. I saw a little, I think it was like, it wasn't quite a sneak peek, but it was a cute picture of Miss Gracie, her cat, laying on top of another one to come out. So, you know, always check her Etsy shop. She has wonderful project bags, and several of them in my stash are from her and Diddly Daddle Designs. Okay, so lesson this week. I wanted to do as an ornament this year for a dough bowl, Woodland Santa with a Lantern by Twin Peak Primitives. I can see him finished. The only thing I wanted to change was over here in the pocket. I have a gingerbread button, and I thought that might be cute to go there. It's a clay button, so it would lay nice and flat. It was just a thought. So I had this, and I wanted to try 1/1 on the 25 count. So I had the mushroom, and I believe that's what we picked up. I got this with up at Jean's at Brick City when I went last week. And anyways, I gotta tell you, I could get it. I could not get the 1/1. And I've done 1/1 on samplers a little bit, and I didn't have any trouble. So I'm going to try and use a hoop and see if that will help me at all. And when, you know, everybody every now and then has something they struggle with. I think we get into our comfort zone of linen size or Ada size, and it's just we just get in such a routine, and our needle does the magic. And I've tried 2 things this week that were out of my element that really, it was frustrating to me, and obviously stitching is not meant to be frustrating. So I abandoned quickly, and I'm gonna re-watch a tutorial or a video on 1/1 stitching because I've done it before. So I'm missing something, and I thought it was gonna be this quick, simple stitch, and it was not. Obviously, it's not the pattern's fault. It's me that's working on a different size linen with the 1/1 and getting my stitches to look good. So I tried 2 separate times, just switching it around, and I still don't feel comfortable. But I thought it would be such a cute size, 1/1. And so when you know, when Linda comes for a visit next, who is seems to me, and as far as locally for me, she's the queen of 1/1 on 25 or 20 count. And the trick may be to help stabilize my fabric in a hoop. And I usually stitch in hand. So anyways, I'm gonna give it another shot, but it was still a Christmas goal that I had. Okay, this is A Christmas Carol by Twin Peak Primitives. I'm moving along on this slowly, but moving along, and I actually watched the Disney version of A Christmas Carol the other night. So again, that's kind of a nice motivating factor for me. It's really hard to tell you, or for you to get a good idea as to where I'm at, because I'm literally building buildings. But I'm excited to see this come. I've shared with you that I have the Dickens Village. Somebody asked me regarding the village I have, especially because there was a fire station in there. The answer is it is by the Dickens. It's not Department 54. Everything in there is a Dickens Village piece. It was something that came from my mom, and so above it, it would be great one day to have a long, beautiful shelf. That would be great. But for right now in this year, I've got it displayed on the hutch, and so I want to put cross stitch pieces around it, and this will be one for next year. So anyways, that is on 28 count Jovelin Water Lily, and we'll keep going with it. Okay, this was, mail seems to be slowing down because I'm waiting on a couple of things. I did order the Forbidden Fiber Company. They had a gingerbread kit that hasn't arrived yet, and I am going to be stitching the Caterpillar cross stitch sale that starts January 22nd, the Garden Grow sale, and that kit has not arrived yet. But Caterpillar Cross Stitch put out a gingerbread house, and it is called the Gingerbread Cottage, and oh my goodness, I jumped on it real quick. This was the linen, or actually Ada is from Bestitch Me. It was a Happy Mail that I received so I could try out Bestitch Me. Fabric from Becca of Sambry Stitches, which by the way, don't forget, December 22nd, live chat with Becca and myself. There, I now have 2 items for giveaway. So join us, because now I have another person that's giving away a project bag of your choice. So anyways, but this is, see if I can get this right. This is 16 count Ada by Bestitch Me with opalescence in it. So this, the sparkles that I hope you can see. And the only thing about the pattern is I can't share anything but the name because it didn't come with a cover pictures. It's literally the floss that you need, which are very little, and I used all DMC. I used just exactly what it called for. There's only seven colors. So it's something real quick you could start. And like I said, I can't show you the pattern. So you're just gonna have to believe me that it's absolutely adorable, and my goal is for this to be done this week. So I wanted to share that one with you. All right, now, I fell in love with this. Stitchy Linda and I, Linda, we came up, wanted to try a Carolyn Manning pattern. Neither one of us had, and she picked one that's more like a blue sea glass type deal. It's gorgeous, and it's full coverage in different shapes, basically. I picked this thinking it kind of was that, and it's not. This is their flower of the month, or flower of the day. Hold on one second here. Yeah, flower a day collection. This is red by Carolyn Manning, and if you don't follow Darlene Dion, she does quilting. She has her own shop. She does quilting patterns, but she also does cross stitch. Her sewing room is really cute, and she finished this on a darker darker fabric, and it is stunning. So you might want to go back maybe 2 or 3 of her floss tubes and you would see it, but she has a finish in this and it is gorgeous. So Darlene, I had not been following her before. I do now, and absolutely enjoy having conversations with her on her pictures and things like that on Instagram and FlossTube. So go give her a follow and a subscribe. And she has done some really cute small finishes, and I think she even did her first 1 or 2 stitching with the housewives. She's kind of like me. We might have been a little late to that action, but anyways, this is where I'm at. It's not near as far as I ever wanted to go, but this does take some good attention for me. So it means no stitching on it during the day. But beautiful, beautiful colors housed in my Berry Stitch Folk bag with my favorite little animals. So I gotta get back on that one. Okay, those are my whips. I'm at 1 hour right now, and I am going to now move a little faster because these are my kits. These are my kits that I want to focus on as I finished other things, pulling them into whatever rotation that I have. I really don't do whip go. I really just stitch what I feel like stitching. And I certainly have some plans that I have in mind that I'm going to start writing in my Lori Holt 2022 planner that I'm ready to go. And will share with you how I'm going to organize that hopefully next time, because I have some nice ideas for myself that might work for you as well. So these are ones that I just don't want to not have in my rotation next year. I've had them, and it's just, they're gonna happen. They're just like my stitchy goal this year to have. I wanted to complete a Prairie Schooler. I did that. I wanted to do a Lizzie Kate. I did that. I would like to do a one of the sleds, and I kept calling it a sleigh on my last thing. I must have called it a sleigh 9 times. Anyways, sled. I want to do one of the wooden sleds on the paper and a mill hill. So I already have my goals, and I'm still thankful that I mean, I've probably, last year I was doing with Carol cross-stitching the ornament a month. I was going to join that. I didn't. Well, I've managed to get about 5 done. So I don't feel so bad, but it would have been easier to do them throughout the year. So I think that by doing the wreath that I showed you and the 12 Days of Christmas, that takes care of 1 a month, and I already know how I would like to display it. I won't worry about it until the end, and if I don't do the wreath, I can just shove them on my tree. So anyways, okay. For the most part, these are going to be things that I really, really want to do and are fully kitted and ready to go at any time. The first one is, this was a really nice bag that my mom made. I love it. And it houses one of the, here, it's called a Little Gem. Hands Across the Sea has some smaller samplers, and they call them Little Gems. So this one is Jane Hearth 1868. The colors are, it's quite an old one that they've had out there, but the colors are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I have these ready to go in the silks. So I want to do this. I really, really want to do this. And I have the linen from Brick City, and this is just 28 count Lugana Heartland. And I picked the Lugana Heartland a year ago. I could always change it, but to me, I was a little nervous then about doing a Hands Across the Sea and working with silk, something I'd never done. So I have no problem stitching it on a lovely 28 count Lugana. And if I decided to change my mind, I could, but I am all ready to go on that one. And I snuck in the bag what I showed you I got last time, because if this is my bag of Hands Across the Sea that I want to do, This one is not kitted or ready, but it is the one that I would love to do next to add to with my others. So I have 2 of their little gems finished already, and so this would be my 3rd. Actually, this would make 4. So anyways, she is so cute, so cute. Rosa Sugars, I love that. I absolutely love, I know I bought it for her, but it's adorable. So I put that in the bag just as a reminder that, one, I want to get it kitted up and I can decide how I want to do that. But other than that, it's for this one that is all ready to go. Okay, 2022. That's my 2022 Hands Across the Sea. The next one is Halloween as far as gifts. This is a project bag that actually got at Needle Orts shop, which is a cross stitch shop in Ocoee, Florida. It's also a needlepoint shop, so they do carry some silk. So I don't go there as often by any means. She has more thread than she has cross stitch linen, but still a nice shop to go to. It just isn't what I would consider my home shop, and but I have gone there, and I had taken my daughter Olivia, whose birthday is by Halloween, and she had picked out this piece by Autumn Lane, which I loved it too. It's got some glow-in-the-dark thread. I've never done an Autumn Lane. So this is called Midnight Brew, and the fabric I got is 28 count J. Cashel linen. And I did get the glow-in-the-dark Rainbow Gallery thread that hopefully no, it's not Rainbow Gallery, I'm sorry, Neon Rays glow-in-the-dark. It's like a needle point. So it'll be something new, and I'm excited for this one, as well as, and we already have all the DMC for that, all the black. I do think though, if I wanted to, it might be a good one to try the black anchor on, just to make it easier on the spool. But anyways, I have an abundance of DMC black, so it's there. This will be the other one that I really am excited for this. So I don't know which one I'll pick first, whatever I feel like. But this is the Poltergeist Pirates by Glendon Place. Sorry about the glare. Again, I saw it on the wall, and I'm going to take a video of it. I'm so going to take a video of it for you guys so you can see the detail in the colors. The ladies were laughing at me up there that I was willing to, you know, take this thing on. But it is so cool, and I have everything I need, and the buttons have come in. Now I don't know when I'll get up there to get them, but they are in now. So I have my fabric, and I have the specialty flosses. Let's see here. But it comes just like for that. So, I think this is gonna be really cool. Anyways, so, and this fabric is called, I mentioned it before, but it is hand-painted specialty fabrics, and it is called Bang, B-A-N-G, by Crossed Wing Collection. Now their email, or to me it would be easier, just call up Jean at Brick City Cross Stitch and tell her you want to do the Poltergeist Pirates, and she would get it. But they do have an email. If you're interested, I could send it to you. But Jean does mail out, and she makes it very convenient for you. So if you're interested, I got my entire kit. I had Jean put it together, so I'm really excited for that one. And I do know somebody reached out and wants to join me on that. So that's great. If anybody else does, wonderful. I am considering like a February Valentine's Day, which is really weird because it's Poltergeist, but that's okay. I'm just thinking of days that I can remember that would make it easy and fun for a new start. So we have the Nottingham sale that's coming in February, as well as I want to start this one in February too, because the goal would be to gift. I'm so sorry, I didn't want to lose my stack. The goal would be to have one finished for October 28th to give to my daughter for her birthday to add to her wall. Okay, moving right along. Okay, there is, I'm absolutely not gonna let 2022 go by without a Brenda Key start. I have watched Anna, her shop is Stitch Toolbox, so Anna, and on Instagram it's one minute, so that you can follow her because she does wonderful designs or wonderful stitching. Okay, her Instagram name is CALADO0066, but her name is Anna Collado. I'm sorry, Anna, if I didn't do the last name right, but anyways, Anna, her shop is Stitch Toolbox, and she literally got me with the sampler company. Brenda Key's the sampler company. So this is my Brenda Key sampler company bag. Seems kind of perfect for it. And I started first just collecting the older patterns. And I did find several on eBay. So it did help, and I was able to save some. And then this year, she put 2 new patterns out, which I shared with you. They came in later, so I think I just shared last time with you. Sorry, they stuck together. The 2 from Expo that she put out. This is the Dwelling Place Sampler. And she also put out the Tall Ship Sampler. So these are new. Okay, then I have collected over the last probably year and a half some that were pre-owned and things like that. So I have to decide, and I think it would be so fun if you guys could help me decide which one to start. I have fabric for some, so we could choose from those 3. But this is another one that I've gotten. This is my collection. This is Husbandry in Honor Sampler. I love this. Whew. This is Heaven Doth Ask Sampler. This is the Red House Sampler. Now I believe Carol Saltbox Stitcher has stitched this. I think Brenda of Brenda and the Serial Starter, she has this. I'm not sure if she did stitch it. I think she wanted to stitch it. But anyways, anybody want to join me? I'm up for that one. This one Anna has on her wall, and every time I see it, I'm blown away. This one I know I got new. This is, I got this from the Silver Needle, the Over the Hill Sampler. I am a history, I'm not gonna say I'm a history freak. I love history. I love respecting it. It doesn't mean that it was perfect by any means. I wish many things didn't have to have happened to get to where, however, I am very much thankful for those that did the things in history that brought us to where we are today. And this one is just so beautiful with the soldiers, and it's just so neat and so uniquely done. So I am excited, and if you want to see it stitched, go check out hers. It's going to be a little bit far back, and I'm sure if you wanted to, Anna could reshare it, but it's really, really gorgeous. This one, the border is quite unique. This is the Puritan Sampler. Not too huge, but it's got like that Borgello border. Okay, This is one I did get. It's quite old from the looks of it, but that's okay, it'll still work. This is one of my favorites, and this is the New England Sampler. See if I can just, because this one's already kind of ripped. There you go. So I do like that. Her charts seem really beautiful to work with. Okay. And then this one is the Huntsman Sampler. This is a beautiful one. This is really beautiful. Another good place to go see these done and to just watch is to go to the basically like the sampler tour and the house tour of Scarlet House designer. If you go to the attic, their FlossTube, you could, she goes and takes you on a trip to the Scarlet House, and or the designer Scarlet House. Anyways, it's her sampler wall is mind blowing. It literally just takes your breath away. But she has stitched a lot of the Brenda, the sampler company samplers, and you will see this one. I believe it's this one. But I mean, either way, they're beautiful, and you get to see the detail of them. So if you need a link to that FlossTube, let me know and I'll get you there. This one is kind of funny, but it's I like it anyways. It's called I Went to Church Sampler, but it's got a real funny saying with it. But it's a beautiful sampler, and the saying is, I went to church on Sunday, my love she passed me by. I knew her mind was changing by the roving of her eye. I mean, sometimes the words in these samplers, I mean, they just really get you thinking, but it's so pretty. And I love the church. And then there's the one that I think kicked it all off for me, and it is the Plymouth Sampler. So, this is what I have fabric cut for. I am using 28 count sampler gold, and I wanted to stay consistent, and I hope I can get some more of this. If not, I'll live with it, but it's called sampler gold. So I have fabric for the Plymouth Sampler, I Went to Church Sampler, and Over the Hills Sampler. So I have 3 pieces of linen, and for the most part, I believe that she uses DMC. And so I'll check a couple of them, but yeah. Let me know, what do you think? The vote is the Plymouth Sampler, the I Went to Church Sampler, or the Over the Hills Sampler. That way I can just get my DMC and I am fully kitted and ready to go. And if anybody wants to join me, that would be good too. So that's that one. All right, this year was the 10th anniversary of the Primitive Hair. And so she's been doing business for 10 years, 2010 through, or no, last year was through 2020. What a year, right? So 2010 through 2020 was her 10-year anniversary. And I have had this. I love Primitive Hair's fabrics. So this is what came. This is her anniversary box. I love that. And she has this, one day I need to stitch that. And then inside, like, how cute, right? And then what you got was the linen, because she does her own linen. You've got your thread holder. And she makes your scissor fob in this like primitive wrapping. And it came with your bequeathment card for the back. And then it came with the, 1 second here, 10th anniversary golden hair pattern. So it's got some unique stuff in it. You don't have to, you can choose. These here are in a separate pattern. So you could take those off if you didn't want to. But anyways, it was, I think those are, I love finding limited edition type things. So it's been sitting there and I would love to see if I could, work that into 2022. I also started a sale with Brick City Cross Stitch this Christmas with Linda and a few others, which for the Sue Hillis Designs Christmas Morning to Make the Box. I got the pattern. I wound up all 30 some of the DMC colors, and I have my linen for both pieces. And I never started it. I don't know why. I think that just happens sometimes. So I am fully kitted, and I feel like that could be some of that consistent stitching. I know there's some confetti stitching in there, and I don't know. I watched Linda stitch it, and she just picked hers up, and I know it's gorgeous. I absolutely know it's gorgeous, and I've seen it at the shop. So I would love that to be part of my Christmas display for next year. So I am ready to go. Now, I still want to do this one for this year, but I think I want to do it for January. And this is a kit that I grabbed from the Twin Peak Primitives, their TPP exclusive shop that Diane runs. And this was a 2020 kit. I absolutely fell in love with this one, and I know you can get the pattern right now, but basically I love the kids out here on the ice rink. And every year when we lived in Clarkston, Michigan, we lived on in a new neighborhood. It was called Snow Apple, and we lived on Snow Apple. And in the backyard, when my sister and I were ice skating and taking lessons, eventually my dad would build us an ice skating rink in the backyard, and it was one of the most memorable things that it just resonates with me. And when I saw this, I thought it would be so cool to just have that as a representation of, of that time. But it was really cool because I can see him building it, getting ready, and then filling it with the water and waiting for it to freeze. And it wasn't huge, but it was so fun that we could go out and skate and practice. And he also had built, when we moved into that, he had built a replica style playhouse for my sister and I that matched the exterior of the house itself on my parents' home. And I absolutely love that. And we did sleepovers out there. So he's always done some really magnificent things when it comes to, whether my mom coached him along, and we certainly, we had to help with some stuff, but it was all him that had to cut it, build it, pay for the supplies, do all of that. But they were so special. They made my childhood so special. I mean, that playhouse, he had the windows that opened and propped open, and we could run an extension cord and have a fan. And even when I got older, I know I had many sleepovers out there. So, those are just really, really good memories, and that's what this did for me. So I am going to have maybe a little bit of a winter display this year, and I've never had one before with smalls, and I think this might be nice to have go with it. Hold on 1 second here. It's got a real pretty It actually does have Ada with it, but it's a real pretty, like a flax color. And of course it has all the floss, but this is the pattern. Skating on the pond. So anyways, I want to keep that kind of out with me now. All right, we're doing good. I think maybe 5 more minutes and we might get through stuff maybe. This is my first Teresa Kogut that I would love to do. I have many of hers I've fallen in love with, but I actually, this one to me, I think it's just so beautiful, but she has beautiful samplers, any of them, but this is called Above All. And it just says, above all, love one another. And I know you've probably seen it, but this one is completely kitted up with the exception of maybe some of the floss, but I do have the fabric. 28 count vintage country mocha is what I have with it for right now, because I had a piece of it, but again, I still have time if I want to change it out. But I want that to be part of what I work on this year. This is from Lake House Stitch Company, and they're local. They were local to me, so I think they're in Melbourne, and it came really fast. So if you're in Florida and you need a quickie project bag really quick, look them up. And she's on Etsy, but was very fast to get here. Okay, this I should have put over in my whip pile. It got over here, wrong one. This is by Roveris, so I gotta put this in the right spot. But this was one that I had started for my daughter before. It's really only 3-4 colors, and I really just need to finish it up. But so maybe around September I'll pull it back out and just keep on going and hopefully get it finished, because it doesn't take too long. So, and they're pretty cute. But anyways, I gotta put that over in the whip pile. All right. Okay, this is by Sub Rosa, and this is the Rose Hamilton sampler. I've shared this one before. Just a nice sampler, and using 28 count Heartland. So I need to get the threads. It's not a complete kit yet, but it is one that I would like to add to my sampler wall for this year in 2022. It's not huge, so I wanted to pull out ones that I absolutely thought were doable. So I want to make sure that that one gets a start in it. Okay, the big daddy of the whole year, and that I would like to stitch, I think, Becca of Sambry Stitches and I have an extra one of these patterns, and I'm gonna send it to her with a little Christmas happy mail, because she might have had Consider the Lilies, and I had 2 of his Eyes on the Sparrow. So I have his Eyes on the Sparrow, I have my linen, and it is 28 count doubloon. And I am so excited. I wanted to do this all year. I think Mom and I were gonna start at New Year's Day, and I do need to get the threads, so I have a little bit of time, and Becca and I can decide when we wanna get it started. But, you know, I think this would be one of those, I like the Sunday stitching, Sampler Sunday. I like Sabbath Sunday stitching, and I like the thought of focusing on a piece that helps you focus on the Lord's Day. So to me, I would be in no rush to do this. I would just want to enjoy it, and it's big, but I love it. I mean, I'm interested in doing the Dutch Beauty. I don't have the pattern yet or anything like that, but I love the Dutch Beauty. I love seeing that Nicola at Hands Across the Sea, I think that was her first one, she said, and it was huge. And then if you watch Fox and Rabbit, it's right behind them. I love the Dutch Beauty. I just don't have the pattern yet. And that's by Perman of Copenhagen. So eventually I will, you know, have that one, and then you know, we'll go from there. But his eyes on the sparrow, I'm really excited, and I believe it'll become my Sunday stitch. And just enjoy and relax. Okay, this one I had got Blackbird Designs, and I wanted to stitch it in honor of my mom, and I will. And so I had put it off. I don't know why. I don't know if I got busy with models or expo. And I was going to start it on her birthday, and I didn't. But Mother's Honor Due by Blackbird Designs, and I really love this one. With my needle, I sew our names to give my mother her honor due, and then it would have, you know, our names on it. So I have this with, I did grab, it's called Butterscotch, 28 count Butterscotch, which is, to me, close to what they had. And I have many of the colors. Some of these are halves, or not halves, but they're kind of like folded up. Anyways, you get the idea. It doesn't look very good, but anyways, I think this is so lovely. And you know, I just am excited to get stitching on this. This is another bag I have by Stitch Folk. Really, really special bag. So I just have to decide. I have a feeling that I've been thinking about it, and I think the perfect timing would be on January 4th. That will be a year from when she passed. I think it might be nice to memorialize that day. And have something happy, in a sense, to just honor her and not be focused on losing her that day, if that makes any particular sense. And I know that so many of you have spent such an incredible amount of time lifting me up, and I cannot thank you enough for that. If you ever need lifting up, just go read the messages. All you have to do is go back to these FlossTubes and read these messages. But I think this would be really special. That day is coming up, and I think that this would be the perfect thing to start that day and have good thoughts throughout the day. So that's what I'm thinking, January 4th. Last one. The last one was I've already shared with you before, and I thought I was going to start it before, and that is Mary Clayton, Hands Across the Sea. I have everything I need. Oopsie. Hold on a second. I got a needle that got stuck. So I have my fabric. Oopsie. Pattern. I was telling you I was a little worried that this was maybe going to be a little darker than what I thought, but I have all my floss ready to go, all the DMC. So I'm really ready for this one, and I'm really ready for 2022. I'm ready to focus on finishing, focus on smalls as well all throughout the year, and I wanna, if I'm gonna add to stash, which we all know that we are, I feel pretty good about what I finish compared to the whips that I have. I didn't count them. I don't want to count them. But I know that I finish things, and so I just am going to just continue with that. And the Sal's, you know, I have a lot next year. I still am in some, and I am ready to start some, and I want to be part of the FlossTube and stitching community, and you know, encourage others to try new things. My words are try and trust. I've shared that with you before. I have so far in January, I will be going to Brick City on New Year's Day to stitch at Brick City. And then Brick City Cross Stitch had a retreat that is a smaller size retreat, but I will be going to that on January, the weekend of the 21st. I am hoping to go Friday and Saturday and join in at Jean's retreat that she's going to have, and I'm super excited about that. And then there's StitchCon, and then there's the Nottingham Sale, and then, you know, I want to work all these things in the middle of it, and that doesn't even account for what new designs will come out, and that doesn't even account for market in Nashville. We all know there's going to be stuff that pulls us in 1,000 different directions, so the only thing you can do is enjoy the ride, enjoy your stitching, love what you're stitching, and to me sometimes it helps for me to stitch with a purpose, or stitch where it has a meaning, or it gives something back, like my winter one with, you know, to me that's just a reminder of my sister and I out skating on, you know, a small rink that my dad made us. So I love those things. And other than that, I hope that because I couldn't have the special guest today, and because she wasn't feeling well and we need to send her our well wishes, that this turned out to be something fun for you to watch, and that we know we all have our whips and kits and sales. Oh my. So at this point, I'm gonna say goodbye and get stitching and get cleaning up and get organized. Next week, I'm gonna share my planner with you. The giveaway of the first stitching frame, the winner did not reach out. So, you know, I'm gonna give them another week. I will give them another week to claim it, and if not, next Sunday, I will go ahead and pick another winner, but I would love to give her a chance. And so anyways, that's what's going on with that giveaway. The next frame will be given away on the night of the 22nd, or we'll come up with the, you know, how we do that giveaway. So I'm really looking forward to that. And other than that, I'll see you next Sunday. Happy stitching, everybody, and don't forget to floss. Love ya. Bye.